one wants to be physically challenged, but whether we like it or not, it may come to terms with us sooner or later, as in old age through sickness, accident, or whatever. But for those born with it or suffering now because of an accident, life without enforceable laws that protect their interest is like living in hell. In the following report, Gabriel Obodai Torgbor-Ashong focuses on one of the persons with disability who is braving all odds, at least to prove to the lazy that life is about what you make it. He looks at the life of this man and how best you and I can support him.
It's 10:30 Tuesday morning. In front of the plush 5-star Mervyn Peak Hotel here in Accra, Korkwei plies his business. He has lived with his deformity since childhood. This man has both legs seriously affected, virtually making him immobile. His parents died whilst he was very young. His only sister took up the challenge to bring him up. Unfortunately, she also passed away shortly after they settled in Accra, leaving him to his fate. With no support, coupled with stigmatization and public reluctance to open up to his plight, Korkwei took his personal initiative to learn a profession. It was difficult, but he vowed to resist the humiliation of begging on the streets. He started with small errands by cleaning shoes to fixing threads in needles to polishing shoes upon the direction of his master. Today, he is almost self-sufficient and psychologically sound. This is his office. He wakes up by 4 a.m. each weekday. He leaves home for work with the help of his wheel and gets settled before traffic builds up. His clients are public and civil servants at the ministries, departments, and agencies in this area. And besides repairing shoes, he has developed his vision into manufacturing these footwears on display, all handmade. He's determined but lacks capital. The few coins, as he put it, made every day is what he plows back in leather and other materials. And luckily for him, many are sympathetic and offer him encouragement by patronizing his work.
He is good with his work. Anytime we have problems with our shoes and sandals, we bring them to him for repairs. I admire his drive towards work, especially because he is disabled. If there is any kind of support available, he is the right person for it and not the others begging.
And take a careful look at the condition under which he works. AMA's task force have not swooped on him yet. No shirt to cover him from the vagaries of the weather. His plight touched me, but I realized that few meters away, people suffering from related physical challenges were lined up for business, just begging. And this embarrassing profession, as one may put it, is carefully planned. As you can see in this video, they are aided by able bodies, thus people full of energy, and money accrued during the day is shared. What prevents people from following the footsteps of Korkwei? Could it be because those hypnotized by their looks continue to offer them gifts? What about the social welfare department and the district assemblies? Have they failed?
If the government wants to do something, it should build a lot of infrastructure for us. We go to ministries and we have 4 or 5-story buildings and we don't have a place for disabled people. We don't think about the future. That's one of our problems. So basic infrastructure should be made for them. That 2%, it will never make a change. But when you give me a good school to attend, when you give me a good hospital attention, when after employment, you see now there's no employment, you create a special aid for those people. They can feel motivated.
District assemblies common fund, a section of it is allotted to to take care of those people living with disabilities, but we still see them on the streets and all those things, and you wonder if whether they know of those things, or when they go in search for those monies, they get them. I think help is not really reaching them.
One of the problems that persons with disability face is that even decisions that concern them, they are not involved. They are not consulted. People just take the decision and they think that, oh, we think that we can do this for them, but they don't want that. In fact, if it is about them, the decision should be taken by them. So their involvement is very important. We have information that in some other districts, some few districts, they are not abiding by the guidelines and they are just using the money anyhow. So we are looking at that.
It's 10:57 p.m. and I am at the Tema Station Total Filling Station, where I'm hoping to meet Mr. Kortei as he prepares to sleep. Join me to explore his situation at night.
Korkwei sleeps on this open premises of the Tema Station Total Filling Station because his place of abode was part of structures demolished by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly recently at Mensah-Guinea. What he's desperately appealing for is support to build a small shop and purchase shoemaking tools to enhance his business and his own life.
My station, filling station, German war. Nana, can you want a lunch, Bencano, Morinchon, one ane, Becotumo, no, maybe one more, Omokobanya Wami, so bad.
The guidelines for the disbursement and management of the District Assembly Common Fund clearly spells out information of circulation, establishment of district coordinators, and shall, among other things, ensure the vetting of applications, monitor and supervise the utilization of funds. This is no doubt that the MMDAs are doing their work, but how effective is it, and does the criteria capture those marginalized?
You see, the 2% is not to be used for the General Assembly activities. I know that all the districts have been instructed not to touch that money. If they are touching it, then they are using it for the purpose for which it was which was allocated. So anything beside that that is concerning the needs of persons with disability, it's unacceptable. So the story in the paper is rather unfortunate, but we know some of these things are going on. Some of the assemblies are not taking disability issues very serious.
Korkwei's action is certainly worth emulating, and I have now developed a better appreciation of those who strive hard to stay afloat their predicaments.
The clouds have gathered, indicating that the rains may fall any moment from now. I'm about leaving here, and I know that I have at least a home where I can take cover from this harsh weather. But for Mr. Kortei, I wonder where he is also going to take his cover from the rain. As he says, God is his king, but you may, for now, be the king of his life. I hope you have watched and would step in promptly to assist him. But until we hear from you, this is Gabriel Obodai Torgbor-Ashong reporting.